Hello everyone and welcome to another Versus video. I am BBD and I am joined once again
by Tom Ross. What's up, everybody?
Yeah, this is not the first time I'll be battling Tom, but hopefully the first time I'll be winning. We're going to be playing some Legacy today in preparation for the SCG Open in Worcester this weekend. And we are actually playing very similar to a rematch of the matchup that we played in the finals of Grand Prix New Jersey back in November.
Yeah, that was a great tournament. You were playing something very similar to this, and I was playing Infect as well.
Yep.
You crushed me in that tournament.
I did, yeah. Hoping to do it again in the Versus video.
The one deck I wanted to avoid, but maybe I can redeem myself in this time.
All right, we'll see. So yeah, if we can go ahead and take a look at the deck, basically it is still Jeskai Stoneblade, but it's a lot different, mostly because like Treasure Cruise is no longer here. So with the banning of Treasure Cruise, we had to turn to Dig Through Time, which is really, it seems like a similar card, but it's actually just a functionally completely different card. And Dig Through Time plays a lot better with a more controlling bent. So instead of playing more aggressive cards like Young Pyromancer and like more Lightning Bolts and things like that, turn to a more controlling strategy with like Snapcaster Mages, still the Stoneforge Mystics, but we have like more Swords to Plowshares, and we have things like Counterspell now where in games where we're ahead, we can dig through time and find something like a Counterspell and a Snapcaster Mage to lock up the game. Whereas before with Jeskai, I was just looking to kind of outpower my opponent early on and just win by having so many more efficient cards and just drawing so many more cards than them.
Yeah, before you had a ton of velocity with Treasure Cruise, but now you have Dig Through Time to find those specific things you need. Like your one Counterspell, you could brainstorm and put your cards away after you dig. And you really only do need 2 Lightning Bolts. Either you're going to finish off the game or... I mean, they're better when you're trying to kill the opponent, but right now there's a lot of creatures running around, and I like 4 swords in this list.
Yeah, like Lightning Bolt is there mostly, not really as a burn spell as much as a way to kill creatures, kill things like Jace or Liliana, but also be a cheap removal spell as well, and a cheap way to fuel Dig Through Time as well. Other than that, the deck is like pretty straightforward. I've upped it to 20 lands. I only played 18 in New Jersey, but we have a bit of a higher curve now with things like Dig and Jace that we didn't have before. So I wanted to make sure I hit my land drops and not get stuck on a couple of lands. I'm still playing Gitaxian Probe, though, which you don't usually see Probe in lists like this, but I just think Probe is like one of the best cards in Legacy, and I just always want it in my deck.
Yeah, it is very good. People think of it as a crutch, but just information in Legacy, people could be playing anything.
Yeah.
It's an especially powerful card against Infect, too.
It is very powerful against Infect because, generally speaking, if you don't know what they're doing, you play super scared, and sometimes that's wrong. But if you can like probe them and see that they don't have like a way to kill you the next turn or something, you can like you can tap out or play more aggressively, which is sometimes the way you probably should be playing anyway, but it just lets you know how to play the matchup.
Right on.
But anyway, that is all for the main deck of the deck. Let's go ahead and look at the sideboard. All right, so the sideboard looks actually relatively similar to what I've played before with Jeskai Stoneblade. Really, the primary thing is that we have a lot of really cheap instants like Pyroblast Surgical and Flusterstorm, because these cards are just very good with Snapcaster Mage, Wear Tear as well, where you just want cheap spells that you can flashback with Snapcaster Mage. So I tend to err on the side of 1 mana cards versus 2 mana cards if I can. Past that point, there's like Meddling Mage and Containment Priest, which are just good hate bearers in a variety of matchups. Single Vendilion Click, which is going to come in a lot as just a good source of information and good against combo decks and control decks and things like that. Really, it's actually good against a lot of decks, but I felt like True Name fit the deck better in the main deck. And then a couple of random answers like Council's Judgment and Pyroclasm and Wear Tear that just have versatile matchups where you want those cards, but aren't like the kind of card that you always want to draw, so I'd rather sideboard them rather than have them in my main deck.
I guess as for my deck, playing just Infect with a couple Jaces, a couple Preordains in it. Me and Todd Aronson have a theory that Jace is actually really good in Infect. We've been testing out last week. I guess by the time this airs, he will have a video this past week of it. Okay. So just check that out for more information.
What's the rationale for Preordain? Is it in addition to Ponder or instead of Ponder?
It's instead of Ponder. It's for turns you want to Preordain, find an Inkmoth Nexus and play it, and not have to shuffle away cards on top of your library.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, I've always been an advocate of Preordain, so you don't have to sell me on that. But anyway, let's go ahead and jump into the battles and see how it plays out.